Arline Fisch, born 1931, Egyptian Dream Collar, 1996. Biography, born 1931. Arline Fisch was born in New York City. She learned to sew and weave from her mother and picked up a passion for the color red from her father. She began her career as a weaver as well as a jeweler, studying with the textile designer Jacqueline Larson. She studied at Skidmore College and the University of Illinois in the early 1950s. She has exhibited extensively all over the world in group shows and solo exhibitions and considers her work to be a form of wearable art as well as sophisticated jewelry. Arline Fisch is best known for the way she handles metal in her pieces. She has developed techniques that combine metalworking and of weaving. These techniques create forms that have the properties of metal but the textures and forms of weaving. She works with thin wire to create forms that have been braided, knitted or woven in similar ways to fabric production. Her work is a kind of fusion of metal and fabric. The jewelry of ancient cultures has long been the inspiration for Fisch's work. Her first encounter with jewelry as an art form was the Egyptian collection at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, which she visited frequently as a young girl. The shape and meaning of these ancient artifacts still influences her work to this day. After teaching for 2 years at Wheaton College, Fisch traveled to Denmark, Austria and Uruguay to study silversmithing and jewelry making. Here she was exposed to museum collections of Mongolian body adornment and Viking jewelry in metalwork. Over many years Fisch studied the body ornaments of many ancient cultures. They used body adornment with freedom and dramatic power in a more symbolic way than we do in popular contemporary society. The visual and impact of ancient jewelry is a big influence on her choice of form, image and material. She is attracted to ancient jewelry by its scale, color and dramatic quality. She is interested in the complex final results that can be created using the simple, physical methods of ancient cultures. This has taught her to handle metalworking with directness and simplicity. She appreciates the skills that modern technology has brought to jewelry making, but believes that there is much to be learned from ancient techniques. She tries to keep the simple characteristics of ancient jewelry design but make it fit in with the lifestyles and culture of today. Fisch believes that Western culture has a limited idea of what jewelry can be compared with people in many other parts of the world. She has said, "Why produce only necklaces, earrings and pins when the whole of the human body can be a living, moving canvas upon which to create?" In addition to ancient culture, Fisch is an artist who is also influenced by the culture of her own time. Many of her pieces are sculptural with simple forms, geometric shapes and repetitive pattern. Her experiments with industrial materials like stainless steel mesh, anodized aluminium and the platinum used for catalytic converters also suggests her work could be thought of as fine art. The neckpiece, Egyptian Dream, 1996. The Egyptian Dream neckpiece was developed from the woven gold collection of jewelry that Arline Fisch began in the late 1980s. This was a collection of jewelry in which she used flattened gold, silver and platinum wire woven into large forms for the body. Fisch had spent a great deal of time at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in their Egyptian collection and was fascinated by the large broad collars, the headpieces of the Egyptians. Drawing from Egyptian and other earlier influences of Inca and Mayan woven and beaten metal jewelry, Fisch increased the size of her jewelry to costume scale and refined her textile techniques to incorporate weave structures, such as twill and herringbone patterns. Egyptian Dream was woven on a 4-harness loom, a device used traditionally to weave cloth or tapestry. Weaving the metal wire on a tensioned loom ensures that the threads of metal are held taut to create an even fabric texture to her jewelry. Egyptian Dream is formed in geometric repetitive pleats. The style of the weave is a twill pattern normally used to make fabric. The metal mimics the folds of fabric as it is contoured around the neck. The influence of Egypt and the ancient pyramids are clear in the overall shape of the neckpiece and the central gold stairway leading up to the head. This bold, structural work is influenced by the formal characteristics of Egyptian architecture and traditional costume. The style frames the head, making it appear isolated from the body. This separation of the face from the body is emphasized again by the miniature golden stairway leading up to the throat. The semi-precious stone onyx and beaded pearls hold the pleating in place, circling the neck and again drawing attention to the face. Despite the scale and being made from metals, the work is wearable and flexible, with practical clasps and fastenings. The impact of social, cultural or other influences. The artifacts of ancient cultures have had most impact on her work. The jewelry of ancient cultures has consistently impacted on Fisch's work, influencing her choice of form, image and material. She is attracted to ancient jewelry by its scale, color and dramatic quality. Frequent visits to the Egyptian collection at the Metropolitan Museum of Art at an early age will have had an impact on her style. The shape and meaning of these ancient artifacts were a major influence on the Egyptian dream neckpiece. Fisch's travels around the world will have widened her experience of other cultures and their traditions of jewelry making. Fisch's mother will also have had an impact on her work. Her mother taught her at an early age to sew and weave. This must have been the foundation for her interest in weaving techniques. Function. The function of Arline Fisch's neckpiece Egyptian Dream is to be dramatic and have a lot of visual impact. It is designed to draw attention. Fisch has said people wear jewelry to be noticed. Its function is also to be comfortable and wearable, but also stand alone as a piece of wearable art. Fitness for purpose. The scale, pyramid shape and dramatic geometric form of the Egyptian Dream supports its function as an object to draw attention. The gold and silver materials edged with onyx and pearls ensure that it has a lot of visual impact. The woven quality of the metal provides a flexibility in the metal that allows Fisch to create large forms that move with the wearer. This makes the neckpiece comfortable and wearable. The weight of this piece might be significant as it is made of silver and gold. It is quite a large piece to wear and might become uncomfortable after a period of time. Despite the scale and being made from metals, Fisch's works are intended to be wearable and flexible, with practical clasps and fastenings. Materials, techniques. The Egyptian Dream neckpiece is constructed of fine and sterling silver, 18-karat gold, black onyx and pearls. In terms of technique, Fisch improvises when she is making. Rather than creating a design beforehand, she simply starts making and sees how it turns out. Combining weaving with metalwork was developed after a trip to Peru where she experienced the metalworking of the Mayan people. Egyptian Dream was woven on a 4-harness loom, a device used traditionally to weave cloth or tapestry. Weaving the metal wire on a tensioned loom ensures that the threads of metal are held taut to create an even fabric texture to her jewelry. The style of the weave is a twill pattern normally used to make fabric. The metal mimics the folds of fabric as it contours around the neck. Egyptian Dream is formed in geometric repetitive pleats. The onyx and beaded pearls function to hold the pleating in place, circling the neck and drawing attention to the face. Fisch experiments with a wide variety of textile techniques such as woven gold, braided silver, loom-woven patterns in silver, machine-knitted collars and bracelets, crocheted lace and ruffles. Target market, audience. Fisch's work is handmade artist jewelry of very fine quality and each piece is unique. Fisch is not interested in mass production and considers each piece to be a fusion of art and jewelry. Her work is only sold in art galleries. The target market for such jewelry is likely be those with considerable wealth. Neckpieces sell for approximately $2,500 and are made of precious materials. This item of jewelry is unlikely to appeal to, or be afforded by, the younger female market. It is more likely to appeal to women age 25 plus. Probably professional women wanting to make a statement about their cultural knowledge and status. It is designed to be noticed and dramatic. It is therefore likely to be worn for special functions and not as everyday jewelry. She doesn't make jewelry for men, stating that they tend not to wear it. Visual impact. The Egyptian dream neckpiece is simple in form, but the geometric structure is large. It is a bold, structural work that is influenced by the formal characteristics of Egyptian architecture and traditional costume. The style frames the head of the wearer, making it appear isolated from the body. This separation of the face from the body is emphasized again by the prominent golden stairway leading up to the throat. The semi-precious stone onyx and beaded pearls hold the pleating in place, circling the neck and again drawing attention to the face. The bold, simple form is contrasted by the delicate woven pattern that runs throughout the whole piece. Style, aesthetics. The style of Egyptian dream is contemporary, but it also reflects traditional cultures. This is shown in the pattern created by traditional weaving techniques and the influence of Egyptian architecture. Aesthetically, it is an unusual blend of soft fabric folds and angular geometric forms. The folds create subtle patterns in the twill weave as the light creates contrasting highlights and shadows. The natural quality of the precious metals gives a sophisticated luster to its surface. The tapered folds lead the eye to a focal point towards the wearer. Influences, sources of inspiration. As above, the impact of social, cultural or other influences. Fisch was also influenced by artist-made jewelry that she found in New York galleries. She was inspired by designers such as the surrealist jewelers Sam Kramer and Art Smith, the modernist jeweler Edwina and the sculptor Alexander Calder, who mainly worked in hammered metal. Imagery. The imagery of the Egyptian dream captures the structures of ancient Egypt. The neckpiece is reminiscent of the ancient pyramids and the staircases leading into the tombs. Decoration. Egyptian dream's decoration is quite subtle. The twill weave is an elegant geometric design that suggests ancient cultures. The black onyx and the pearls form a regular ring to emphasize the top of the neckpiece and draw attention to the wearer. The shiny gold staircase stands out against the subdued silver weave with horizontal lines contrasting with the pattern of the twill. Color. The colors of Egyptian dream are subtle and natural. The silver and gold suggest wealth and status. The contrasting black of the onyx and the white of the pearls form a regular ring that emphasizes the top of the neckpiece and draw attention to the wearer. Pattern. The patterns Fisch has used in the woven twill are influenced by Egyptian and Mayan decorative items. They have a geometric diamond appearance reminiscent of the woven fabrics of traditional South American cultures. The black onyx and pearls create a regular repeating pattern around the top of the neckpiece. Shape. The overall shape of Egyptian dream is bold and geometric. Circular in shape, it has tapering folds and a tapering gold staircase. Diamond shapes within the twill weave are angular but bend around the silver folds of metal, softening the edges. Form. Egyptian dream is a combination of architectural form, reminiscent of Egyptian pyramids, and the tactile folds of fabric. It looks solid and soft at the same time.